Welcome back to Morgan's video blog, Morgan's online blog in video format. Today, to no surprise of any of you, is Morgan's 2019 Retrospective. Okay, that was a horrible echo effect. Let's just move on. So 2019 kept me busy. Between my day job, my own projects, helping friends and family with their projects, I was, as always, completely overbooked. As with 2017 and 2018, I may not have ended my year with an agent or a signed contract, but I did not just sit around. I attended 2 conventions, wrote 21 short stories, 33 poems, got a mentor who's helping me revise my first manuscript for my 8th time, and I revised my 4th manuscript. Not 2 or 3 though, they're just sitting there. Between Balticon 53 and Worldcon 77, I attended 39 panels. That's 39 hours of programming right there. I just finished sharing the notes last week, so if you click back, you can see some of those reviews. I attended 7 shows or concerts, 4 readings, 2 yoga classes, and helped run 2 parties just at the conventions, 2 4-day weekends. Well, I think Worldcon might have been 5 days. But anyway, outside of the cons, I attended 3 different writing groups, joined the hashtag authorTube community, and became a regular at my local open mic night for writers. This year, I did a lot more interacting in person versus all the virtual interaction I always do. This is not to say I cut back on my virtual interaction because I don't understand boundaries, apparently, with myself. But I do love comparing the numbers. So buckle up, hold on tight, and this is my stats post. Dun, dun, dun. Who doesn't love a good spreadsheet? If you don't, it's okay. Tell me below, spreadsheets suck, and peace out. So my writing goals for last year. As always, I did my best to set SMART. S for specific, M for measurable, achievable, results-focused, and time-bound goals. Clearly, time-bound means, the end of the year in this case. They're sort of resolutions, but also a refocus and a time to acknowledge what worked and what didn't work. So my 2019 goals, number 1, blogging/vlogging, don't break my streak, and maybe add a picture post. Nobody chimed in saying they wanted a picture post, so I just kept doing what I'm doing. 100% win here. I have not missed a week. Some weeks got 2 posts. I got this. Goal number 2, read at least 26 books or novellas in 2019. Win. I blew this one out of the water with 41 books / anthologies / novellas this year. 41! A lot of that was thanks to travel that work put me on, etc., but I'm not knocking it. And what I didn't have on here, but I had in my head, is I wanted to work on my physical to read pile rather than just, ooh, my favorite author just had a new book, let me download it. And I actually read almost half of those were physical books. So I'm patting myself on the back there. My third goal, after those 2 lovely wins, was to get this back. In January of last year, I thought I would revise manuscript number 1 in February, manuscript number 2 in April, and manuscript 3 or 4 in June. So I'm going to give myself partial credit, say 50%, which we all know is still a failing grade. Instead of 3 revisions, I'm halfway through a revision with my mentor of manuscript number 1, but I did finish a revision of manuscript number 4, which is my middle grade contemporary fantasy, and it's now off with my alpha reader, who promised she'd have it done by the end of November, but it's okay, nothing got done during December. So goal number 4 for last year, once manuscript 1 has been revised, starting in March, query it 3 times a week for 4 months and then maybe revise again. 100% fail. Why? As I just said, I'm only halfway through revisions on it. This is going a little slower. Oops. And a lot of that's on me, unfortunately, and timing and stuff and things in life. So, goal number 5, beta readers. After revisions, send manuscript 2 and either 3 or 4 to approximately 8 beta readers. Well, partial credit? I mean, I only finished revising 1 and my alpha reader has it right now. Yeah, this is probably a fail. Let's get back to things that are a little better. Number 6, conventions. When, as anticipated, I attended Balticon and Worldcon. I thought I might try and get on panels. I submitted to Balticon a little late, and that didn't happen, but that's fine. As I said, I attended a ridiculous number of panels. So, number 7 on my goals was writing. Why is this so far down my list? Next year, I am rearranging this list. So anyway, number 7 was writing. Do Octoporimo, which is October Poem Writing Month. It's because writers feel jealous of all the artists who are doing the Inktober, and so we do poetry instead. So do Octoporimo, and if I don't have a good idea, by NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month in November, rebel and revise something. I know it's a little stretching it, but I'm counting this one a win. I did do Octoporimo, and I did a themed poem a day. I actually followed the theme this year, and I did it in handwriting, and I took pretty Instagram photos and posted it, and it was lovely. I didn't rebel by revising, but instead of writing a manuscript, I wrote a series of short stories that I had no prior planning on. And I worked on writing short stories and getting the pacing and trying different voices. Half of them are utter crap, but at least half of those could probably turn into something, and half of the others I kind of like. So while nothing in there is amazing, it's all an excellent writing exercise, and it really helped me, I think, grow my pacing and my short story skills. And I did hit 50,000 words worth of short stories while writing 20 short stories. It was a little crazy, but it happens. And goal number 8 was, oh, wait, give myself a pass if I don't get anything done in December. That was actually in my resolutions. Whew, thank goodness, Past Morgan. You were 110% correct about that. So when I did nothing in December, I may have read a book or two. So, I mean, that puts me ahead of what I thought I was going to do. So let's talk about the things outside of my resolutions that I actually did, because life doesn't go according to plan and other things happen. So, number 1, clearly, I got a writing mentor through Broad Universe in January, and that threw off my entire schedule. Number 2, I set up my own email newsletter. I hate email newsletters, but not all of you do. So if you want to subscribe, even the video will come through so you can click and watch it. Networking. I became a regular at my local open mic night. I got asked through a Facebook friend to read slush for the Oddville Press. It's an online magazine, and it's a little odd and pretty fun. and I owe them a reading, so maybe I'll do that later this week. I also got asked to help out with Balticon programming. Due to my extensive panel viewing, I have insight into which panels worked, which ones didn't, and which panelists worked better together, and which ones I would definitely go see again. I also did beta reading for friends, at least 2 full-length novels and 5 shorts, but I'm sure, and a bunch of queries, of course. And I set up Trello to try and track my stuff, and then I forgot to keep checking it. I want to try and use it better this year. And also, a friend got me to set up Trello for her because she was doing a book blog tour in advance of her novel being released. Yay! So that's, I think, all the writing tangentially related stuff that I was up to this year. As always, I am part of a Nancy, like the spider, Spider Storytime podcast, and a couple of my stories have come out with me doing different voices and things. So go check that out if you want. So let's talk about my WordPress blog, since, you know, that's where this comes from in writing form. You can also go over there and check out the charts if you're interested later. So, lifetime post is, my top lifetime post is still my sleeper hit from 2016, 10 questions to ask your beta readers. It has 2,134 lifetime hits, and I'll link it below. But it's way down from its peak. One of this year's posts, or 2019's posts, actually beat it out for popularity last year. Despite being less popular than my regular posts, I am keeping my query corner, where I rewrite queries with authors preparing to enter the query trenches, and I'm keeping my author spotlight to help promote friends' works because I want to. I'm not hustling for entries for this, but I will share them when I have content for them. If you'd like to participate, please contact me at morgan.s.hazelwood@gmail.com. So, what you've all been waiting for, my top 10 posts of 2019, or videos. Number 1, Morgan's complete guide for attending a convention. Number 2, so you've decided to write a novel, 7 tips to get started. Number 3, making the asexual textual. Number 4, introduction to hope punk. Number 5, done to death, the art of killing characters. Number 6, how I finally gave up and set up my own newsletter on MailChimp. Number 7, the future of podcasting. Number 8, advancing the story without traumatizing your characters. Number 9, what the writer needs to know, the brain and the body. And number 10, picking an agent or pitch war's mentor to query. So since we're actually on video right now and you're not actually on my blog, let's talk about my YouTube stats. What are my top 5 YouTube videos in 2019? Well, not all of them are from this year. How to create a new mythology is my YouTube sleeper hit. And as always, it is hundreds of views, or at least over 100 views. Next most popular was sex, sexuality, and world building. I got a lot of immediate hits and then people bouncing when they realized it wasn't actually porn, I believe. So that inflated those numbers a little. Number 3 was the classic 10 questions to ask your beta readers. One that actually got a lot of hits and wasn't just pretending to be porn, apparently, was my intro to hope punk. And another classic rounded out the top 5 most popular YouTube videos for me this year, tips for writing characters with agency. So going back because I like flashbacks, last year's top 3 posts were when you ask for someone to read your first chapter, agents and editors share pitches they're sick of, and so you've decided to write a novel. Here are 7 tips to get started. My top 3 posts of 2017 were Pitch Wars is coming, #PimpMyBio. Number 2 was top 10 tricks for a better query letter, and confession, I've been struggling. Maybe I should just repost that one. My top 3 posts of 2016 were the 5 stages of a Pitch Wars hopeful, 5 big things I've learned about editing, like how it never ends, and an outline to write by. And if we flash back all the way to my first year blogging, my top 3 posts were packing, editing your life. Number 2, I'd make a good henchman. And 3, handling the unavoidable info dump. So, are we ready for the actual stats? I like stats and tracking progress, and so here are my numbers for 2019. I tried on my different social media accounts to be engaging and engaged while still invested in upping my content creation in all mediums. I might be stretched a little thin, and I've got to reprioritize. But anyway, let's talk followers. First off, I did work actively on getting more followers for my YouTube video or channel and my Instagram account. I was sporadic with my Pinterest and Reddit usage, which isn't really a surprise. And having hit the Twitter follow limit, I usually just follow back people at this point. Excuse me. Between all my social media accounts, I added 5,970 followers, more than double last year. Excuse me. Twitter was, of course, number 1 for the number of new followers, but percentage-wise, my Facebook page and then my Facebook profile and then my YouTube channel were the main areas of growth. Plus, I added LinkedIn to this chart and removed Google+. So if you click on the link below, you'll be able to look at the chart. But WordPress, last year I ended with 550 followers. This year I added 150. Twitter, I had 5,466 last year, and I've added 2,644 followers this year. Tumblr, I went from 150 and added 12. Tumblr is, I don't know how active it is. I don't know if it's me or it's a dying community. I don't think I'm going to be investing that much in Tumblr this year, though. Instagram, I went from 1066 to adding 538 people. And Instagram is so easy and quick and, well, okay, sometimes I do my makeup first. Pinterest, I went from 133 followers to adding an additional 58, which was awesome because previously most of my followers for that had come from like follow chains, and this was organic growth because I might not be posting a lot or interacting with it a lot, but I am regularly sharing my video blog, if nothing else. Let's see. My Facebook page went from 286 followers to gaining an additional 1,548. That was a big jump. My Facebook profile itself went from 733 followers to adding 750. I more than doubled my Facebook profile followers. Goodreads, I added 78 to my pre-existing 896. YouTube, I went from 51 to adding 147. I almost 3 times what I had before because I got involved in the authorTube community, and you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. It's so reassuring to know that I'm not just vlogging into the void. I'm actually communicating with people who care and want to hear what I'm saying. So next up, let's talk about my content. This year, I maintained my streak of blogging at least once a week and kept up with the vlogging. Clearly, I increased my vlogging. My Goodreads stats, when I get to them, are just based on books I added because I think that's the only real content there. And my Facebook stats are only from like mid 2016 because that's when I started trying to track and Facebook quit letting me scroll. Why does Insight not just tell you how many posts you've done that year? It's annoying. They only give you 90 days. Anyway, so based on my plans from last year, I averaged posting on Instagram twice a week, and I kept that up, so that was good. And I did start using Pinterest again, even if I was horribly inconsistent, except for the video blogging. So WordPress content. I started off the year with 288 posts, and I added another 91. Not quite 2 a week, but not bad. On Twitter, I had 7,547 tweets, and this year I only tweeted 2,553 times. I'm sure you wanted to see all of that content, right? Tumblr, I went from 734 to resharing and posting 425 times. I figured out the whole queuing thing for resharing, and I don't know. Yeah, Tumblr, I struggle with you. Instagram, I had 513 pictures posted at the beginning of the year, and now I have 137 new ones. So as I said, more than twice a week, which is exactly what I was hoping for, and clearly is getting some payback by increased numbers. Pinterest, I had 233, and I added 149 pins. So definitely stepping up there because I've had Pinterest for more than 2 years, and that was a significant portion of my total lifetime pins. My Facebook page, I had 280 posts total, and I added 484. I'm trying to, I guess I'm posting more than once a day. That's a lot of posts. I didn't think I was posting that much. Oh well. Goodreads, as I said, I read 41 books. A couple of them were already on my to-read pile, and some of them were rereads, so I'm getting credit for 33 new books. YouTube, I had 81 videos, and now I have added this year 64. So over one a week. Some of them are additional bonus posts because I did like authorTube tags and stuff like that. And LinkedIn, I had 288 posts, and this year I added like 143 or something like that. I cross-post from my YouTube and from WordPress, and then people comment on that. I didn't know people use LinkedIn like that. I just knew that there was an option to share, and I want to make sure I'm wherever you prefer to view things. So let's get into the nitty-gritty, the account breakdown. WordPress, first off, I started my blog in April of 2015, and I actually took a dip in the blog category, although some of it is I'm just not posting as much as I did last year. I had a lot of query corners and author spotlights and a blog hop back in 2018, and 2019 I just didn't do quite as much and actually slipped below 2017's numbers. So growth, jump. So that was a little bit of a bummer. But I still, had 7,000, almost 7,700 views. I had 5,500 visitors, which is actually slightly above 2017's numbers. I posted 91 times versus last year's 107. So you see there was a bit of a posting discrepancy there. I got 885 likes and 227 comments. People just weren't as chatty this year. I don't know what was going on. But at least the comments number was higher than 2017, even though it didn't approach last year. So Twitter, I joined in March of 2016. I could be more engaged, but I think I'm comfortable with my level of engagement. I'll ramp it up if needed or inspired, but I'm just mostly posting and then responding to my notifications. And I find it's a really good way to avoid the drama minefields that Twitter sometimes can be. Tumblr, I also joined in June of 2016. I've mastered queuing things in spurts. I did grow organically this year, not just like liking and following people and wanting them to follow me. People found me randomly. But I do think that platform is dying, so I don't know how much I'm going to invest in it this year. Instagram, I joined in 2015. I might try posting on a schedule or not. You never know when something pretty will happen. I've been trying to be more intentional in my posts and my patterns, making like one text post and then 2 image posts, or reverse during OctoPoRimo when I'm taking pictures of the poetry. And I'm trying to vary up the type of images so it's not like 3 selfies in a row and here's some food. And I want to have a variety, but I also want to not be all over the spectrum so you know what sort of content you're going to see from me. So, food for thought there. Pinterest, I'm over there as Morgan Hazelwood because they wouldn't give me the D. I don't know what's up with that. I joined in 2015 and I'm sharing, as I said, my video posts. I'm resharing, but not much else. And I've heard that I should join group boards and add my stuff to that. I did get around to making an inspiration board for my middle grade novels, so at least that's out there. Facebook pages, Morgan Hazelwood page. I joined or created it in 2015, and this year I invited all of my friends once. I know everybody hates page invites, but I did it. And a lot of them followed me. I went from 200s to over 1,000. I've been trying to post pretty regularly. And since I bother to alt text or describe what's happening in the images if I'm screen sharing, a large blog called Writing About Writing will often reshare my posts, even if it's been going around, because he likes to also have all the alt text and I save him the work. And whenever he reshares mine, I get massive number of likes and reshares, etc. Otherwise, Facebook, shares my post with like 100 people, despite having 1,000 people following it. It's annoying. I'm still not giving Facebook money though, so I'll just keep reposting things I really like on my personal page as well. Speaking of my personal page, Morgan S. Hazelwood / Facebook, I don't know how it goes on there, but I joined in 2013 and I got a lot of new followers when I posted a tribute to the Mars rover opportunity. The post went viral. I've never had anything go viral before. Hopefully I'll have less depressing things go viral in the future. It was a roller coaster for me, and as heartbreaking as a robot could be. Rest in peace, opportunity. I hope we get to rescue you and bring you home or make a nice little museum home for you on Mars someday that people can visit. Wouldn't that be awesome to if they built like a museum around where opportunity stopped and maybe turned it back on? Okay. Anyway, going down a rabbit hole. Let's finish this up. Next stat I used to track was Google Plus, but they are dead. So moving on. Goodreads. I joined in January of 2016. So there's a huge number of books I'm just like, yes, I've read, yes, I've read, yes, I've read, that went in that first year. And this year I read 41 books, beating my target of 2 books a month significantly. I rated them all, but I don't think I reviewed them, and I do want to do that to support my fellow writers. And Reddit. I'm on there as Morgan Hazelwood, and I joined in January of 2017. Last year I was really active and trying to like build a following, and this year, no. But I did get a little more karma. It's now at like 510 instead of 478 or whatever it was. But I only posted 7 times, mostly reshares from my blog and a picture of me cosplaying as Bad Janet from The Good Place with my identical twin, who was cosplaying as Good Janet. So that was fun. You should check out that photo. In conclusion, you thought this post would never end. In conclusion, I did not do as much as I'd hoped. Some of that was external. People who are reading your manuscript out of the kindness of their hearts and working around their own schedules aren't necessarily going to adhere to your schedule. Plus, my paying job got very busy for the summer. Plus, I had the personal travel for Worldcon, and I have a life and a limited number of spoons. So some of my issues were the result of personal decisions. I am still running 2 Facebook pitch war support groups. Wait, 3 pitch war support groups, and administering to another science fiction fantasy writers group on Facebook. Plus, I'm stepping up as part of the authorTube community, and that takes time, energy, and spoons. I decided, because I have a social media addiction, admitting it to yourself is the first step, to keep up with over 5 types of social media. Plus, I really like 9 hours of sleep a night, even if 7 is more standard. And I still have scheduled social time with friends on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and Wednesday is blog night, and Friday at least once a month is open mic night. And when do I write? I really, really need to schedule in writing time. So far it's Sunday evenings and 3 to 4 Fridays a month. I need to fix that. So anyway, I've prioritized keeping up with my self-imposed schedule for blogging and vlogging over actual writing. I'm still a bit burnt out, but I have goals. And this year I am going to take intentional breaks. Not just, oh, it's time for me to take a break, but I didn't finish what I was planning on doing last month, so let me finish that up. And oh wait, now we're into next month and I still haven't finished what I was gonna do last month. Yeah. So anyway, I need to look at myself and give myself credit for what I did get done. I did do a lot of writing, more revising on my first novel than anticipated. I grew my vlog, I critiqued for friends and family, and I averaged 3.42 novels or novellas read a month. I may have fallen short, but as I said last year, you know what Les Brown says about that. Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. How well did you do on your 2019 goals? Did you give up on them in January? Did you rock the bleep out of them? Or do you think you did okay but might do better with SMART goals? Let me know below. Let me know what you're planning on doing. And as always, tune in again next week for more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye-bye.